I think integrity is the act of doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. As a project manager, so much of what we do is literally covered up, whether it's something in the wall or it's paperwork on the desk. I think making sure that I'm always sticking to what needs to be done correctly, even if there's nobody double checking me. What about you guys?
I agree. You have to have that personal integrity in order for it to ripple effect onto other people, right? Because they're going to see that happen. And for me, personal integrity, the ripple effect is creating a company with brand integrity. Okay, this is us as a company, because to me, a lot of our projects were selected without competition, and we are selected because we have integrity, right? And that gives us the ability to make decisions and guide a project with our trust of our clients.
Yeah, I'm on the same path as you, Jeff. I think by doing that, you're holding yourself accountable, and then by holding yourself accountable, with integrity, the ripple effect is we can now expect accountability from others.
That's right.
You're leading an entire department. Yeah, how does...
Well, I'm on the same page with you. I mean, I think integrity has always, to me, been doing the right thing when nobody's looking. You know, for me, managing the panel division, I have to lead by that example, and then the ripple effect is simple. All of our guys that are scattered around the country working have that same value system that, hey, we need to do the right thing. The right thing for the thermal envelope on projects, nobody's ever going to notice that at the end of the day. But when you're done and you walk away and a year later, that building is still performing as it is, that means integrity to me.
Yeah. It has to be a core value, right? And it is for us. So.
That's right, yeah.
You know, integrity is one of those traits where you can lose it in an instant and your whole reputation has changed. And I think Primus has done a good job of continuing to deliver with integrity, which is why we keep working with valuable subs and clients.
That's right. Well, it's like, you're only as good as your word, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's the same thing as integrity. You just don't ultimately have integrity by just talking to somebody. You have to show people.
That's right.
And over time you build that up, and like you said, it one little item.
Yes.
And it takes years to build that back.
I've always said if you say it, you've committed to it. If you told somebody you're going to do something, you follow through with that.
So, Tony, you mentioned core values important to Primus. And every year at our company meeting, the employees of Primus get to vote on a multitude of awards. Both you and Eric have won the Integrity Award, voted on by your peers and coworkers. So share a little bit about, it's a surprise when you're told at the meeting.
I was very humbled, obviously. That's the most important core value to me that we have. There's nothing more important than integrity. I think if you have integrity, everything else kind of falls in place.
Yeah, so Tony, I would say my reaction was, I was very humbled by
Yeah, you cried like a baby, I remember.
Yeah, no. And I was surprised too, but for all of my guys in my department, I've always preached to them since I've been with Primus is that, hey guys, number one, you're the face of our company out there. You are the guys that get seen by clients and owners all the time. When they're looking to you, you need to always be doing the right thing. Nobody's going to be watching them every day. They're out there on a project site. Even safety comes into play too. Do I put my harness on? I'm only going up 3 feet.
Exactly.
Very simple things, but I would agree, Tony, I think it's probably the most important because it sets up every other one of our core values as a company.
That goes back to brand integrity. You're right. Our guys are out there on an island. Sometimes they're the only face the client may see for weeks and months at a time. They're creating our brand of integrity, I think. Day to day, week to week, all the time, things come up, problems come up on the job, right? Especially design and constructability issues. And so you'll get a call from the superintendent and he'll be like, hey man, this isn't working. I want to do it this way. And at that point, you got to say, hold on, time out. We're a pretty collaborative bunch at the office, interdepartmentally, I think. So you say, nah, we gotta run this by our structural engineer. Let's do the smart thing. The tendency is to go fast and do something stupid and make it go away, as opposed to triangulating with your structural engineer and your superintendent and me and maybe somebody else, and let's come up with the right solution that's documented and not just let's roll the dice and make something work. That to me is a little bit of a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
We just had last week before, both Trey and Josh out there in Burleson. Delivery truck was providing materials for our underground utility subcontractor, and every time the driver got out of the truck, he didn't have a hard hat on, didn't have his glasses on, didn't have on a high vis, and Trey and Josh went out there and reminded him, and finally said, leave. And we informed the subcontractor, and they agreed, and they said, if they're not following your rules, he's not coming back. We will let the supply company know he's not allowed back at the site. And that was one of those where we had their back, they had our back too.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's those little things that if the integrity's not there for what's thought to be a minor infraction, it can matriculate into something larger.
And a precedent was set, right? So now subs, vendors on that job site know going there that hey, I better have my hard hat on when I get out of my truck, or there's going to be consequences.
I think, wanting to work daily with a sense of integrity stems from family. That's just the way I was raised. I know it's a saying, but it comes down that way. I mean, seeing how like my grandfather or my father, my mom would maybe take the longer way to get something done in work or personal life, but it was the right thing to do. It's just, I want to follow in their footsteps and do the way they've always done it. And
For me, it's going home at night and knowing I did everything I possibly could to do it with the utmost integrity that I could for that day.
I think what drives me is just knowing that other people are relying on me, and they need me to hold myself accountable so that I can hold them accountable.
I'm with Ashley on this. It comes with my family and my upbringing. Just growing up and being involved in sports. In my current position, I think one of the biggest things for me is I want people to develop, do things right, and continue to work for Primus and do what we do for years and years and years.